collaboration. Now it's live. Hi, everyone. This is Susanna Camp. And I do beautiful things in the world to sponsor our real life socials that we have once every 2 months. Brings it in every time here in Denver, Colorado. And I am here today with one of our lovelies decided to bring about more light into the world by partnering with us. Her name is Danielle Norris. She is here with Sovenco as her company, and I'm going to let her tell you about it. So we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, Danielle. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. And if there's a delay in my talking, there's just a little bit of a delay when we talk. So, hello, everybody.
Part of the deal, I think, you'll expect it at this point, and people kind of like it. I don't really edit any of these interviews, so it's really raw. So stay tuned with what's coming. Danielle, I would love to find out from you, how do we know each other? I remember the first time we met. I don't know if you do.
Well, I think it's back to 3 to 5 Club, which we talk about a lot. But it's even before that, because I was at your house randomly, and you drove by, and I was like, I need to know that. I need to know her. And then you showed up at 3 to 5 Club the next morning, I think, like the next week.
Yes, I totally remember that. It was meant to be for sure. I remember you were describing your company. That sounds really intriguing. It's definitely something different. So please explain, a little bit about your company, what it's about. Explain it to someone that you have never met. There's a lot of listeners out there.
The hard one, the pitch. So my company is Sovenco. In technical terms, we are a consulting firm. We do management consulting, but it's a little bit more than that. We actually, our big thing that we have and we love to do is we are the only ones that have a conversion model. And what I mean by that is we help companies, for-profit companies, move over into being a do-good or conscious business. So we have an 8-step program that guides a company through, allows them and helps them scale their company, because in order to make more impact in the world, you have to go get bigger. Well, in our eyes, you can't always have impact, even if it's just a few people. But we love to see big companies doing great things, and that's what we do in our consulting.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we're going to dive into more of that, kind of what that means, how it shows up for your clients and in the world. But first of all, I want to find out from you, we did meet in 3 to 5 Club, which the way I would describe it is a kick-butt mastermind, continued education group of entrepreneurs who are dedicated to maturing their businesses in 3 to 5 years. So I just want to point that out, that Danielle and I are together on our businesses. And when you met me, Danielle, what was your first impression about Real Life Book Club and the socials, and why did you start plugging into them? Because you have done Real Life Book Club before. It was awesome.
Yes.
So what kind of...
start and drink the Kool-Aid of Real Life Book Club, you don't stop. Also with 3 to 5. The first thing, in 3 to 5, you have to introduce yourself, and you just came in rocking it and talking about helping women really show up in the world and be authentic. And right when I heard that, I was in. I am a huge feminist, so even beyond feminism, I actually have, in my undergrad, I have Women in Ethnic Studies as one of my majors, and I've been part of the women's movement for the last 10 years. So anytime I see just a new way of bringing women up in the world, I'm just addicted at sight. So that's what first got me, and then of course me and you just click, so it was easy in that sense.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and we both have a real estate background, so it's kind of fun that we're able to connect with you.
Our woes. or real estate woes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's fun to create a company alongside of you for sure. And what prompted you to collaborate with the Real Life Socials?
So the main thing is just the like-mindedness. So in the social, for one, you get to be authentic and real. In being a social enterprise or a conscious business, you have to be real. You can't hide behind anything. You have to be real, and you have to show up in that business sense. So it's great to be around all those like-minded people that are ready to show up in their business and be authentic in their business. So it really just drew me in.
Love it. And Danielle, I just want to say kudos to you, because you are a woman in my eyes. You know, you're feminist, you're strong, you are dedicated to your career. You have been with your commercial real estate, and now, which is that's a tough business, you know, commercial real estate, not just residential. You started your residential company when you were how old?
24, and I got into real estate when I was 19. So,
oh my God!
Yes. This was in Colorado Springs. In Colorado Springs, their average realtor is like, I joke it's like 100, but it's probably like 60.
Yeah. So you've always been cutting edge in my eyes. Like, hearing your story, you've always been, you know, kind of the rebel who gets shit done. And I said shit, but that's okay. It's real, right?
My son already hear it. Sorry, my son's homesick today. He's trying to come over here again with his shirt off.
Oh, you
guys are gonna get a show.
Speaking of getting real, and I shouldn't be cussing if he's there. I'm sorry about
that. No. I'm an entrepreneur. He knows cussing.
You're an entre mom, right? So exactly. Not only are you have kiddos, you've been in commercial real estate, you've been in real estate for a long time, and now, you know, you have started this company that is, you're so professional in it, and you know your stuff. You're an expert. And you share your story, your personal story. You share yourself. You're showing up and just being real and authentic. And I just love that you have the combination of both. So I commend you for being so bold and brave in our society and owning it. About owning it, so that it's a process. Like, here I am, you know, here's all of me, and here's something I've created, and putting yourself on the line. I just want to say you do a really good job at it. You know, Danielle, you have this company now that you've created from scratch. How long has it been around, and why did you start it?
So we started in 2011, and we literally been working our conversion model for the last 3.5 years. And we really have gung-ho into doing the business just in 2015, where we're just all in, as our 3 to 5 group says.
Woo, all in.
Yeah, so it's been a long road in just developing the company. As of why I did it, well, are we going to do the real personal story? Are you waiting for it, or do you want to, or the short story?
Well, let's do. We have so much to talk about. So the short, condensed story, but yeah, I would love to hear kind of the heart of this company.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
for sure.
It starts way back, and we talk a lot about purpose and aligning your purpose. And to be in a conscious business or social enterprise, it's very important the leaders are personally attached, because doing good in the world and having a conscious business is hard work. That's why every business is not a conscious business. So you really have to be attached with your purpose. And with my purpose, mine's directly related to conscious business. When I was one of those young kids that came from the hard knock life, I guess we would call it. And when I was 16, I had my first child, and I got a wonderful caseworker assigned to me. And that caseworker helped me become sustainable. I was fully sustainable, graduated high school, had an awesome job at 18, accepted into college, started college, and living on my own with my child. And in that experience, what happened is she was my best friend, my mother, my everything. And her nonprofit went out of business because they weren't able to get funding. So that that first triggered it. I mean, this is my mentor, my everything, and she could no longer help other people that needed help, and she had done such a great thing for me. So that was really the start of it. And then when I went into real estate, in the real estate world, you're just flying high, and I was flying high because, like it is now, the houses were just going off the market. You didn't have to sell it. You really were just managing it. And then within months, the market crashed, and all my deals went down with it. And I made it about a year, and it was on the business side of it where I was just making really good money, and then the next day I wasn't. And it was nothing from what I did. It was really the market that just came in and was like, ma'am, unless you have massive reserves and have been in the industry for 20 years, you're out. So just those two edges of it, I realized how broken the system is, the system of nonprofit and for-profit. And I went on a journey to fix it, and I started in public policy. I wanted to be a politician, and then I wanted to be an international ambassador. So my undergrad is in that sphere where I wanted to be an ambassador. And then after spending time in that sector, I realized business is where you can make the most change. A huge free market, capitalism is just, there's so much change that can happen. So that's where I went into business. I saw social enterprise, and I don't even remember, in one of my studies, and it just clicked. Actually, I think it was business ethics.
Big time.
Yeah, so it was a paper on capitalism and the ethics of capitalism, and I still have that paper. I should post it as a blog. And it just opened it up, and I just realized, oh my God, this is where I need to be. And then after that, everything just started clicking. That's the shorter, longer.
No, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. There's the delay. Do you hear the delay?
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll just talk.
I just hope it doesn't keep going, because it's kind of a nuisance. But so good, it's not there anymore. So when you in your company infuse yourself, so you're authentic, you infuse yourself into your company that you've created.
Correct. My entire company is me. It's completely and 100%
awesome.
Wow. We promote family in that family environment, so we really bring our team members on. Everybody knows their purpose, why they're here, why they're passionate, why it's connected, and then we so really good. Just are a big family. It's hard work being an entrepreneur and being in our industry. To have those relationships in a team that you can go, cry and laugh with is amazing.
Yeah, the word that comes to mind is integration. Just the integration of all of you, and also I'm sitting on the board for your company, which is a huge honor. And the co-founders together, it really does feel like a family, and it feels like you truly all are in alignment with values, and all just like, you're like, boom, this is me, this is my authentic self, and that you guys are able to work together from that space, from being so different and unique. It's so beautiful to see that you've created something that is in such alignment like that. So kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. Well, and it's amazing in those, because we just come in there ourselves. We wing it. When we were in the meeting, we were like, we're just going to wing it. And we are able to wing it because it is our true self. So you don't have to prepare, because you're just showing up as you. And it takes a lot of burden off.
Yes. So one of the things that I'm hearing from you about your company, about how you show up in the world, as well as social enterprise, the concept and the values of social enterprise, one of the things that come up for me is the value of win-win. creating win-wins wherever you go. So what would you say is the win-win for you and your clients when you're working with your clients and converting them and bringing to life social entrepreneurship and social enterprise in their company?
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about social enterprise. It is definitely 100% win-win because it allows you to grow your profits exponentially, which is very important. And then the outcome is that you get to live in your purpose, in your higher purpose. And this goes beyond just a passion. This is really your one and only higher purpose that you get to live in, and you get to serve others. And in that, it's just a perfect storm of win-win. It just
I love. Go ahead.
Oh no, I lost my train of thought, so you can go now.
As you're describing it, I would love to just paint a picture for people that are listening. What would you say is an example, a couple examples of social enterprises that are already in existence doing this, where they're making a profit? The leaders of the company are living their purpose, and they're also making an impact in the world.
What's a really good example and a new example is Zuckerberg just started his social enterprise. And he really, from the get-go, his purpose in life was to make this connection available so that everyone can connect. And I don't know him personally or anything like that, but I could assume that, he was in a very limited, isolated world growing up, getting into Harvard. That's a very isolated situation. And that opened up that isolation. And that's what Facebook comes from. But he's been able to grow his company to billion-dollar level, and now he's bringing internet to areas that can't afford it. So and he's doing it in a for-profit way. So he's a great new example. And really what we do in our conversion model is we turn Nikes into Tom's shoes.
Ooh,
so that's the best example.
That's a great example. I love it. So shoes is example, because I think we're all familiar with Tom's shoes. I actually saw one of my friends wearing boots, and I'm like, wow, I haven't even seen the boot version. That's so awesome. And just seeing their yeah, they really are. Just their marketing of social enterprises are really inspiring too. They're not really faking it. They truly are making people smile, and also a huge sustainable company. So how cool is it that you get to make those shifts for corporations? I don't know of anything out there like what you're doing. Do you? Is there anything out there like that?
So from what we know, we're the only conversion model.
Right.
We do have. And I'm supposed to say this, my other founders always get on me, but our model does help companies grow as well. So it's just the power of doing good in the world is such a great growth mechanism. But you can't fake it. You can't fake it though. And the ones that fake it, they see their consequences. But yeah, it's the only one of our kind, and that's why it took us 3.5 years to model it. We are competing with big powerhouse ones like McKinsey and Company, in their frameworks that they have. So, if anyone knows McKinsey and Company.
But what would be an example of something that you would have to convert from the old corporate paradigm to social enterprise?
Every part part of the foundation of a company has to change over. So we call it like the special social enterprise sauce that goes on in everything. From your marketing to your governance of your company to your client relations, your value proposition, your product and how that's set up. Every one of them has just a little bit of a tweak that you have to go through. And again, if it was easy to be a social enterprise or a conscious business, everybody would be doing it. So there's different things that have to be constructed in the foundation of the company for you to be able to successfully grow and stay a do-good business. So it's just every single part of it is required.
Wow, that's awesome. If someone out there wanted to make an impact on the world in a positive way with business, even if it's maybe even a solo, what would be a piece of guidance that you would give them?
To get support, that would be the biggest. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a consultant. Really, it's not. A lot of people have this idea that I'm going to do good in the world. It's easy. I can just go do good. That's easy, right? I just, do something and add it into my company, and it's just so easy. And that's not the way, because again, if it was, everyone would be doing it. There's just certain things that have to be built, and you need support from a professional to do that. Because you'll get to a point where you'll start leaning into the traditional for-profit world or the traditional nonprofit world. It happens all the time.
So it's almost like our mentality in capitalistic America has been, it's either one or the other. You're either really a nonprofit and doing that type of work, or you're a corporation, and there's not really any in between, it sounds like. Or
in the U.S., we're just so ingrained in that idea that there's just these two separate worlds, the black and the white sort of idea. But the rest of the world doesn't work like that. Social enterprise has been around a long time, and internationally, it's just something that is done. It's not, there's 65,000 plus social enterprises in the UK.
Right.
So this isn't old news. This is the future of business. Millennials, that's all they think. So if you ever want to hire a millennial or have them buy from you, and there's a lot of them, you better get used to serving the community and doing good in the community and have it ingrained in your business.
So good. And I see that also showing up in social media. There's a lot of corporations who are making a positive impact in social media. I think that's a part of is spread. It's gosh, what a great and sustainable way of sharing more light in the world when we have so many things that aren't working,
And really, there's just some foundational things that that just need to be adjusted, and we are a highly intelligent population now. We can move forward.
Totally love that. Thank you so much. What would you say is a way that your business has evolved over the past 3 years?
We've evolved a lot. When we started, our overall values and core values and mission has not changed. We actually revisited our first board meeting that we had. That has not changed. But it is a very delicate balance of waiting for the market to be ready for your product.
Yeah.
We're still very cutting edge, but just getting ready for that. So we've changed quite a bit and trying to shape our product to be more easily available and understood by just the general public.
Love it. So good thing you're doing this interview today.
Yes. If you don't know social enterprise, look it up. Please Google it.
I encourage it. Yeah, it's all over the internet now. And so it sounds like you're emerging. You're getting ready to make even a bigger splash in the marketplace. So when you think about the next steps in your big vision for your company, what does that look like?
So our next steps, we actually just started at the beginning of the year. We are going big. We are seeking angel investor money to start our private equity leg of our company. So we really want to take mid-sized companies, purchase them or acquire them, and convert them with our model. And every new company is going to create a new direct impact on the world. So that is our next thing. So we've just started our, we just submitted our application, and we'll be doing that for the rest of this year.
Oh,
so if you're an
so
investor watching,
good. I'm really
you need investment money.
okay. Yes, please, Danielle, for sure.
Yes.
So this is a huge deal. I mean, you really are one of a kind, and you're wanting to make those are your next steps. But your vision, Danielle, I've heard your vision before. You know, you want to go international. You want to see more businesses converting to this hybrid model that truly can change the world in powerful, sustainable ways.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are thinking about that big vision, how do you embrace that? It's so huge. How do you
well, I have my
in to
but we're freezing. I don't know if you're ready for me. Sorry, I was waiting. I was like, is it still frozen? So how do I handle the big vision? It's a very delicate balance, a support system. So Real Life Book Club has played a big role in that, and just the women of that. And 3 to 5, and I also have Flourish. They're a new group as well. And just having people there to support you when you're hiding under your covers. I call it Friday morning hiding under the covers. I've actually moved it to Tuesday morning. I don't know why. But it's okay to have your down moments and to be okay with that, and then the next day start new. And then I am a visionary person anyways, so personality-wise, if you need a 20-year vision, I could give you one in like a minute of talking to me and lay it all out for you. It just comes naturally to me. But it's hard moving forward and going bigger and just going into private equity. We are a women and minority-owned company, and women and minorities just aren't in private equity. It's
wow.
such a small amount, as well as getting investor funding. It's just uncommon. So it's very scary to be the only woman in the room for that, definitely.
You're facing a lot of fears, woman. That's so amazing. When you, if you were to give other women who are looking to really embrace their vision and bring something new into the world that might be a little bit revolutionary, something different, or maybe they're just facing things that you've faced where, you know, they're really young and they're having their kiddos, or they're young and they're starting businesses, you know, at 19, 20. I mean, these millennials, like you said, there's a lot of them, and they kind of have a different mentality in this new type of society we live in. So what would be some advice for these women who are facing their own fears and really, truly seeing their authenticity?
Well, one of my biggest lessons I've learned over this period is that, and as a millennial too, the millennials face this. Unfortunately, you cannot skip ahead. You have to go through certain things, and you have to experience them, and you have to live them. And it doesn't mean you have to, you know, spend 20 years in an industry. It just means you have to become self-aware, and you have to dive into your dark corners of the stuff that you thought you locked away and you wish never came back. And you just have to confront those. And when you find out what those fears are, you just have to do it and say, it's this fear, I'm just going to go around it. That's what I do. I don't even look over it. I'm like, how can I just go around this fear? There's got to be another way. And find someone to hold your hand while you're walking around your fear. And I mean, that's really important, to be able to send random messages to me like, I'm having a freak out, and have someone call back and be like, stop it, Danielle, you know you're not. So.
Yes, I know. We've done that for each other too, and it looks like you have a really good team surrounding you. So way to go with creating that and having that support.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, they're very comfortable being like, Danielle, stop it.
Oh, so good. Calling each other out, keeping it
Yeah.
real. Love it. So Danielle, you've spoken about so many wonderful things from your own life, company, and about so many. If someone wanted to connect on anything, what's the best way for them to do that?
So definitely visit our website at sovenco.com, and we're spelled Sovenco. That's a social venture company if you want to know how we got that. And then email. So my email is dnorris, Norris, at sovenco.com. And then friend me. I'm a huge social media addict like you are, and I really love being real on social media because there's a lot that can be changed and done good, and there's so much good that can be done on social media. So definitely free to connect with me, and I love sitting down and having one-to-ones. We are having workshops as well, so we're going to have our first purpose-driven session in February 13th is what we're looking at, and that's our first meeting that we have with our clients. We do a purpose discovery session where we directly align your purpose to whatever you're doing, your business, your work, or whatever you're doing in life. And we're are going to hold that workshop, a 3-hour workshop. So definitely look for that and connect with us and all of our social media feeds and to me directly. I would love to meet anybody. I love one-to-ones, so I could do those all day and not get anything done.
Oh, good. What you know, and there might even be some companies listening. Someone in a company who and sees that what can happen. How can they make a change? How can they make a bigger splash in the world? So definitely reach out to Danielle. She can take you through the process of how to get started. And all of this information is below in the description of this video. Also, more information about Real Life Book Club, how us women get real together and get clear on our authentic paths, and experience real connection too. I mean, Danielle and I, we know the language of real connection because we have been in these safe spaces like 3 to 5 Club, like Real Life Book Club, where we practice being vulnerable, and we practice expressing our feelings and all these crazy new revolutionary things that we weren't always taught growing up. So find out more information, connect with us. Is there a last message, Danielle, that you would like to share as we wrap this up today?
Yes, actually, I want to say thank you to you because I love you, Susanna. And to add to your story, what you had just said, I literally did not tell my personal story of what I conquered in my youth and how I got to where I was until last year, and I got comfortable in Real Life Book Club talking about it. So you're right on when you say you have to practice, and it was a great space.
Oh, so good. Yes, and your story really is powerful. I hope that, Danielle, you figure out ways to share the longer version of your story through speaking, maybe through a video. Maybe sometime we can dive in more to that because your story is truly inspiring. And you don't want nonprofits to run out of funding. There's so much good in the world, and they do need to be around. We need them. We need more mentorship, more guidance for so many, world. Thank you for doing what you do. Truly inspiring. You have so much courage and strength, and it's been an honor to share you with everyone here.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone who's listening today. Yes. Totally. So, everyone stay tuned, stay following us, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Danielle.
Later. Bye.
Bye.